in this video, we are going to be seeing how do we add and subtract integers. So to start with, but let's first see what are integers. Hopefully integers everyone is familiar with. An integer is a positive or negative number with no fractional parts. So here integers include both the positive and negative numbers. Okay, whereas 0 is also an integer. So you can see some examples given here. -4 is an integer and it is considered a negative number. Now, the 4, it doesn't have any sign in front, which means it's going to be a positive number. So if -4 is an integer as well, 4 is also +4, which we don't say it as +4, we just read it as 4. So 4 is also an integer. So you can see some more examples here. We have a -5 and 5. So how do we know what's this 5? Always remember that in front of a positive number, we never put the plus sign. It's never done, because you need to know that if there is no plus sign, if there is no sign in front of an integer, that means it is a positive number. Okay, so the same with -121. This is a negative number because they have specified it with a negative sign. But 125 is a positive integer because we don't usually write plus 121. The plus is invisible, which means if there is no sign, you have to realize that it is a positive number. That's the mathematical concept of integers. So what is an integer? It's a positive or negative number with no fractional parts, and 0 is also an integer. Okay, now let's first see how do we add these integers using a number line. So to make it easy and to make you understand better, we use this way by using the number line, but number lines are not used once you have got used to the methods of doing it. It's very easy, it's a simple rule, that's it. But to make you understand it further, we will use the number line just for a few questions. As you know, when you add, you move to the right of a number line, right? Whenever you add two numbers, means you are making them bigger and bigger. So in a number line, the concept is that the more you go to the right, the more your numbers get bigger and bigger. More you go to the left, your numbers become smaller and smaller. Now, the first question here is 4 plus 3. So 4 plus 3, we don't need to use a number line, in fact, because 4 plus 3, we all know it's 7, right? This we have been studying from since we were small kids. But using a number line, how do you arrive at the conclusion that 4 plus 3 is 7? You start with 4. Okay, you always start by adding from the big number, right? So we place an arrow over 4 and we need to move 3 place values to the right because we are adding it. So the opposite happens when you subtract, you go to the left. Because here we are adding, so we move to the right. So here we moved 1, then 2, and then 3. So 4 plus 3 is going to give you a 7. Okay, so 4 plus 3, anyhow, we know that it's 7. So this is how we use a number line. Now, is it going to be a negative or a positive 7? Of course, it's going to be a positive 7 because 4 plus 3, these are all positive numbers. The ones which you can see from blue. 0 is in fact the center of the number line. Whatever is to the left is negative. Whatever is to the right is positive. So 4 plus 3 is going to give you a positive 7. Okay, now let's move forward and check another question. -5 plus 7. So you need to be adding 7 to -5. Now in the number line, where is -5? It's to the left of the number line or left of 0. So -5 is here. So to add 7, add means you move to the right. So you need to move 7 places to the right. And let's move 7 places and see how many, which number are we going to get. So starting from -5, we have it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So where did we come and land on? We are on positive 2. Now this is not negative because it's to the right of the number line. So it is a positive 2. Okay, you can do the same. You can even take 7 and then subtract 5 from that because it's 7, positive 7. So 7 minus 5 will give you 2 as well. But here, because I'm just concentrating on adding the integers, so that's why I showed you starting from negative 5. How do you need to move to the right to get the answer? Okay, let's see some more examples. So here we have negative 8 plus 3. So I need to start from negative 8. All right, so negative 8 is here, and I need to move 3 places forward because I'm going to add 3. So add means you move to the right. So negative 8, you add 3. So this is 1, 2, and 3. So we have negative 8 plus 3 is going to give us a negative 5. Okay, next question is negative 1 plus 4. Now I'm going to start on negative 1 and I'm going to move to the right, 4. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have the answer as a positive 3. Now do I write the answer as plus 3? Now here I have written with the negative sign 5 because I got the answer as negative 5. But here, do I write the answer as plus 3 with the plus sign? Of course not. We just write 3. We have to realize that it is positive because positive sign we don't usually write with a positive number. Okay, now let's concentrate on subtracting integers using a number line. Later on, I will also show you in this video how to solve without using the number line. This is just because you have to understand how are we getting the answers. That's why we are using a number line. Okay, now 8 minus 2. Simple as that. All of us know 8 minus 2 is 6. But how do we arrive at the conclusion that 8 minus 2 is 6? I know when you were small, you have learned keep 8 in mind and count 2 backwards, so you will get 6. But how do we get 6 using a number line? You move to the left. See, when subtracting, move to the left. So when adding, you move to the right, and when subtracting, you move to the left. So where is 8? Now this is a positive 8 because there is no sign here. So I start from positive 8 here. So 8, and I have to move 2 places to the left. So 1 and 2. So I have the answer as 6. Now this is a positive 6. Okay. Now also you can do the other side. You can add. Here there's a plus sign with, so negative 2 plus 8. So you can start from negative 2 and go forward. But this is because I just want to concentrate on the subtraction part. I'm doing this. So let's move further and try this. 3 minus 5. Now as soon as you look at it, you might say, how can you subtract 3 from 5? Because 3 is a smaller number than 5. But yes, using integers, we can. So how are we going to subtract 5 from 3? So we start at 3. Now there's a positive 3 and we move to the left 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have negative 2 as the answer. So 3 minus 5 is going to give you a negative 2. Now you cannot say anymore. We cannot subtract a bigger number from a smaller one because here it is 3 minus 5, but the minus 5 is smaller. If you remember in integers, we have learned the negative numbers are smaller than the positive ones. So 3 is positive, negative 5 is smaller than 3. So that's why we could subtract. So 3 minus 5 is going to give you a negative 2. Let's go on and check some more roots. Okay, now keeping that in mind, okay, what have we arrived at the conclusion? The conclusion is that the rule, if the numbers have the same signs, you are going to add the numbers and keep the sign the same. So if both the numbers are positive or both the numbers are negative, you are going to add the numbers but keep the sign the same. Let's see what this means. So here, so this is rule number 1 for you. If the signs are the same, add the numbers. Here it is positive, which we don't put. So here it is also positive. So both of them have the same sign. So we add them. 6 plus 5 is 11. But do we put the positive sign here? No, usually we don't. Okay. So read the rule again. If the numbers have the same signs, add the numbers. Keep the sign the same. So here, are both the digits having the same sign? Yes, they do. So what's the rule if they have the same sign? You add the numbers. Don't bother about these negatives, just add the numbers. So 4 plus 3 is going to give me a 7. But What do I do with these negative signs? You keep them the same. So your answer is going to be -7. Let's move on. -9, -7. The rule first. Same sign? Yes. Then add them. 9 plus 7 is 16 with the negative sign. Do not forget the negative sign because both of them have the negative sign. It's just like you and your friend. You both have the same thing. So finally, you want to have the same thing. So that's why we give the answer also the same negative number. Just think that they both are friends. They both have the same thing. Okay, so you have to have finally the same thing too. So that's why the same sign we give for the answer as well. But then because they both are friends, we add them. Like just like you all, when you and your friend are together, you both are more closer together. So we add them. Same rule is for the numbers. They both are friends because they both have the same signs. So we add them and keep the sign the same. Okay, now let's check some more examples on how to solve this question. But without using the number line, if you could do, it's better. But if you didn't, if you are still confused with the lesson, let's use the number line. So here we have 5, which means it's a positive 5 minus 8. Okay, 5 minus 8 is going to give me how much? How much do you think 5 minus 8 is going to give you? Let's check. I'll start from 5 and I have to move. Do I move to the left or do I move to the right? I'm going to subtract. So I need to move to the left. So I will move 8 places to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So what's the answer going to be? We are going to be getting a -3 as the answer. Okay, so 5 minus 8 is going to give you a -3. Now, next one is -6, -4. Now, I don't think you need a number line because you already learned rule number 1. If the signs are the same, add them, keep the sign the same. So, -6, still we will just use the number line to see the rule is true or not. Are they both having the same sign? Yes. So, the rule was add them. So, let's see. 6 plus 4 is going to give us a 10, but the sign remains the same. So we need to get a -10. Let's use the number line and see and make sure the answer is correct or not. So I'm going to start with the -6 and I'm going to move to the left because it's -4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's going to be -10. So without even using the number line, because of the rule, we knew the answer is going to be -10. Okay, so let's try some more. Now this is rule number 2. Rule number 1 was if the signs are same, add the numbers, keep the sign the same. Now rule number 2, if the numbers have the opposite signs, subtract. So the rule is if the numbers have opposite signs, so if one is negative, one is positive, you must subtract them. But wait, you have to give the sign with the greater number, which the greater number has. So there are 2 things to be done, 3 things in fact to do. First, you need to check whether both the numbers have the same sign. If they don't have, then you do the second thing. What is the second thing? You need to subtract. After you subtract, you need to do one more thing. You have to check which number is greater and which number is sign is the greater number having. You have to give that sign to the answer. Okay, let me make it clear for you. This is -4 and +6. So both of them have 2 different signs. So what's the rule when they have opposite signs? You subtract. So 6 minus 4 is going to give me how much? 2. Now, 2, but make sure which sign are we going to have for the answer. Now, which is greater here? Is 4 greater or 6 greater? Of course, 6 is greater. So which sign is 6 having here? It is positive. So your answer is going to be a +2. Okay, we will make it more clear by this example. Now here there is no sign means it's going to be a positive one, right? So 3 is positive, 8 is negative. So if the signs are opposite, what do? Subtract it. So 8 minus 3 is going to give you a 5. Okay, keep 5 in mind. Now let's move to step number 3. Which sign are you going to give the answer? Are you going to give the positive sign with the 3 or the negative sign? Now, which number is greater, 3 or 8? 8 is greater, of course, but 8 is having the positive sign or the negative sign. Now, the sign in front of the number belongs to that number. The sign which is in front of the number belongs to the number. So 8 is negative. The negative sign belongs to the 8. So your answer is going to be 8 minus 3 is 5, but the answer is going to be negative 5 because 8 is greater and 8 is having the negative number. So we put the negative sign with the answer. Last example, negative 11 plus 6. So again, step number 1, check the signs. They both are opposites. So what's step number 2? If they're opposite, subtract them. So 11 minus 6 is going to give you a 5, right? But step number 3, don't stop there. You have 3 steps. Which sign are you going to give? The negative or the positive? Think, which number is greater, 6 or 11? Of course, 11 is greater. So which sign is 11 having? The negative sign. So your answer is going to be negative 5. Hope you have understood how to add and subtract integers. We have learned both the ways by using the rule as well as by using the number line. The number line is not always practical when you are using when you are adding or subtracting bigger integers. So you have to remember the two rules. The rules are, if the signs are same, add the numbers, keep the sign the same. If the signs are opposite, subtract the numbers and give the sign of the greater number to the answer. Hope you have understood this lesson. Now, daily, if you want to check the updates of this lesson, subscribe to the channel below and do like the video so that you will get the notifications once the new lesson has been updated. Thank you for watching.